Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kira, and welcome to my little corner here on YouTube. This is my son, Kai the Mied. Kai the Mied? Yeah. Anyways, today we are going to be doing a baby video. We're going to do a baby video, and we're going to be talking about the best baby products. If you don't know, I actually have a 4-month-old at the time I'm filming this. He might be older when I post this, but he is 4 months at the time I'm filming this. I'm sorry, I just love my snuggles. But anyways, I know that there are tons and tons and tons of new moms always happening, and I was very overwhelmed when I got pregnant with all the different brands and stuff, so I thought it would be really cool to just show you guys the best baby products in my opinion that have worked for my kids. Now please know that baby products are really the same as makeup. It works differently for all children. Not all children are going to like what my kids like. I just want you guys to know Kai has super sensitive skin, and I've had multiple diapers break him out, so that's why I kind of use these products that I use, because I've only found one brand that does not break him out. So that is that. And just so you know, Kai and Jackson are in the same diapers. They're both in size 5s. I know, it's weird. But Kai's also eating regular real people food, not baby food. So he is going to be getting potty trained soon. I even found a Mickey Mouse potty chair. Wish me luck. But anyways, let's get into it. So this is a size 5 diaper. It is the Huggies Snug and Dry size 5 diaper. It's got Mickey Mouse on it, which Mickey Mouse is Kai's favorite thing. Like I said, Jackson and Kai actually both wear the same diaper, so I tend to just get the same size for everything. Jackson doesn't have sensitive skin. He can use the cheaper diapers, but I was like, you know what? If they're getting the same, if I'm getting one box, I might as well just use them on both. So that is that. But yes, they do use size 5 diapers, and they do use Huggies diapers. Now for wipes, I found another wipe set that does not break Kai out. See, before I used to use Pampers Sensitive perfume-free wipes, which there is a difference. Has to be sensitive perfume-free. I couldn't find those for a while, and I was like out of wipes at this time. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to try another one. So we grabbed these ones, and these ones worked, and I used them on both kids. These are the Huggies. Are you dancing? Simply Clean wipes. These match the Snug and Dry ones. It's got Mickey Mouse on it. I don't preferably like Huggies wipes usually, but these ones don't break Kai out. I'm just very gentle because the cloth itself is very like rough and tough. So I just prefer to be more gentle whenever I'm using these as opposed to using the Pampers ones. The Pampers ones are more moistened for sure. But I couldn't find them. I had to get up and get some stuff. So now it's time for stuff that I use on both boys in the bathtub, basically. So Kai is brushing his teeth. Jackson doesn't have any, but Kai does brush his own teeth. He does use this Crest training toothpaste. I used to use the Colgate, but I personally use Crest. So when I found this one, I ended up switching to Crest for the kids. And my mother loves Winnie the Pooh. Alright, moving on. I actually, so they have, I didn't know this, but they actually have a bunch of different diaper rash stuff. I use the A&D Prevent Original Ointment on the boys because the Desitin actually burned Kai. Like, it burned him pretty bad. I used it once, and, like, you could tell he was, like, in pain because he was screaming. And so that's when my mom was like, yep, nope, what I used to use on you kids was A&D. And my mom literally took me to the store that day, and we got A&D, and I've used A&D on the boys ever since. I even use A&D on Jackson. I've never tried Desitin on Jackson just because I don't feel like I should buy products that I know Kai is too sensitive to, even though I know Jackson doesn't have sensitive skin, when I already have something like this that I know Kai is okay with. I would just rather buy the product that I know Kai can use, and if Jackson can use it too, it's not a waste of money. I don't want to get, you know, this and then Desitin, use this on Kai and Desitin on Jackson. Like, I think that that's really, really stupid. These products are going to be all over the place because I have to keep getting up and getting things because I'm remembering products. But anyways, I'll just do Kai's. Kai's bottles are Dr. Brown's bottles. He's always used Dr. Brown's bottles. I don't use the insert anymore because he's almost 2. But he does actually drink juice. He drinks this. He drinks regular juice. He does not do anything baby except for diapers and bottles. So that's that. Alright, Jackson's bottles are the Tommy Tippy bottles. They do have the anti-colic in it. Yes, this is baby juice. It has been okayed by his doctor. His doctor wanted him on baby juice, so you know, I was apprehensive about it. I was going to wait till he was 6 months old at least, because that's how long I waited till Kai. But his doctor wanted him on baby juice, so we're trying baby juice. But this is Kai's favorite baby juice that he used when he was a baby, so this is what is actually in Jackson's bottle right now. And it is the Parents' Choice Mixed Fruit Juice. Kai was a really, really picky kid. He would not drink any other juice but this juice. So, like, the strawberry kiwi he wouldn't drink. Apple juice, nope. I literally ended up giving all my apple juice to Caden because Kai would not drink it. So, we ended up getting this. So, when it was time to put Jackson on baby juice, we just went ahead and grabbed this one since Kai liked it so much, because when I run out of Sunny D and I can't find any Sunny D, I typically just tend to give him some of this. Alright, okay, I'm going to do this one next. This is the baby detergent I use for both kids. It's the all baby detergent. So typically people go for Dreft. I had Dreft when I had Kai. And my mom, being the lovely person that she was, I was really close to delivering. I was like, this was a few weeks before I actually delivered, but it was about a month before I was due because Kai came early. Both kids came early, but that's not the point. So my mom washed I put together my diaper bag, my hospital bag that I was going to take to the hospital because I had the outfits and the blankets I wanted Kai to come home in. So my mom decided that she was going to be the lovely and amazing person that she is, and she washed them for me. And she packed it all nice for me. So that way, when I went to the hospital, when I went into labor, I went into labor at like 4 in the morning. So, and I didn't go to the hospital till like 9. But that's a story for another day. But anyway, so what ended up happening was I went to the hospital, I grabbed my diaper bag, and we were there for 3 days because I had surgery, so typically you stay for 3 days. And my blood pressure was really high. So my blood pressure was really high, it just flopped back dramatically. So my blood pressure was really high, but I was going to stay for a few more days. But what happened was the day that we were taking Kai home, we actually gave him the baby blanket I wanted him to have. So he was actually in the nursery sleeping with the baby blanket that I wanted him to be wrapped up in when we took him home. And we put him in the outfit. What I had noticed, since he had slept with that blanket all night long, was he had a gigantic rash all over his body, just red rash everywhere, like bumps. And I was like, is he allergic to Dreft? Because everything was washed in Dreft. And they were like, oh no, don't worry. It's probably our detergent because we use powder detergent. Hospitals do use powder detergent. It's cheaper. It's cheaper because, I mean, it makes sense. But anyways, I knew it wasn't that because he was in the hospital stuff for a few days and he wasn't having that rash. But then he was wrapped up in that blanket all night long. He ended up having that rash. So I told my mom about it, and my mom instantly was like, okay, it's got to be the Dreft, because we knew it's from that blanket. I had texted Brandon's mother, and I had asked her, like, hey, the detergent I have, Kai seems to be allergic to. Can you stop and get me some other detergent? So it was actually Brandon's mom that got me hooked on this. She brought me a bottle of this the day we brought Kai home from the hospital because she came over and she's seen him, so she ended up bringing me a bottle of this, and I've been using it ever since. I use it for Jackson. I don't know if Jackson is sensitive to Dreft. I don't even have that Dreft anymore. I think my mom decided to give it away to Caden or something like that, because Caden could use Dreft, but Kai couldn't, so that's what ended up getting us on this, and I definitely recommend it for very sensitive skin. Kai has super sensitive skin, like I said. Jackson doesn't. Okay, let's do this one next since Kai's playing with it. Alright, Jackson is not a breastfed baby. He is a formula-fed baby. Kai was a breastfed baby. I don't have my breast pump anymore. I gave it away. I got rid of the tubes, and I told them what tubes to use, but I did give away my breast pump. It was a $200 Medela breast pump. If I remember, I'll link it in the description box down below. I'll try to link all these products, because these are actually the best, and I'm very picky with stuff because of how sensitive Kai is to stuff. But like I said, Jackson's not sensitive, but it just makes more sense when you have 2 kids to just use the same products. Because, like I said with the diaper rash, like, why would I want to use Desitin on Jackson and A&D on Kai? That just doesn't make sense. But anyways, Jackson is a formula-fed baby. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. The recovery process of after having Jackson sucked ass because I was in a lot more pain than what I was with Kai. I still didn't take that many pain meds. I ended up giving my pain meds to my brother because they were like not prescription pain meds. So when my brother had his head surgery and he didn't have any pain meds, I gave him mine because it was ibuprofen. My sister was like, it's only 600 milligrams, just take it. Just give it to him. So, that's what I did. But this is the baby water I use when I make Jackson's bottles. It's just the parent's choice distilled water. Get it from Walmart. It's like 90 cents. I have like 4 of these in my house at all times. Just because Jackson uses this for his baby formula. Because I prefer to use purified water. I drink purified water. I will not drink sink water. So why would I feed that poisoned water to my children? Please, for the love of God, if you drink tap water, that's great for you. But there's so much bad stuff in it. That's why I don't drink it. I do notice a difference in my purified water. I have a Brita purifier. It was the best decision I've ever made. I've had it for like 3 years. It was seriously, hands down, the best purchase I've ever made in my life. I don't regret it still to this day. But, yes, I do use this. Jackson doesn't like cold or warm formula. He likes room temperature. So this typically is left out to make it room temperature, and it's just so much easier. Plus, with those Tommy Tippy bottles, I always recommend those ones to new moms because it has a strip in it that actually will tell you if the milk is too hot or too cold for the baby, and then it'll tell you if it's just right. Just right is purple. That's the room temperature that Jackson likes. Too cold will turn it blue, and then too hot will turn it red. Yes, I have had formula get turned to be too cold, and I don't give it to Jackson, so I do know that this does work. Kai just handed this to me when I came back from taking the water out there, so I think he wants me to do this one next. This is the lotion that I use on the kids. I use it on both kids. I have 4 of these in my house. I always have a bunch of this. As you can tell, I'm almost completely out of this one. Yes, I'll do that next. This is the Johnson's Cotton Touch. So this is another thing. Renee, Rana's mother, the day we brought Kai home, brought us some of this. She brought us a Cotton Touch soap and a Cotton Touch lotion. Thank you, my love. And I've used Johnson on the boys ever since. I only will use Cotton Touch or the bedtime bath, which you'll hear me talk about the bedtime bath one later, because Kai is sensitive. I tried the oat one once, and it broke him out. I used it once. I was like, fuck this. I gave it to Caden, and I have not tried any new ones since. This is really good, I think, for sensitive skin. It's just a newborn face and body lotion. I don't use this really on Kai because I use something else on Kai for lotion because he has eczema. I use this on Jackson every night. Every night when he gets out of the bath, he gets this. So if you're curious about the products I use on Kai for his eczema, I have a whole baby eczema products video. If it's up, I will link it down below. If not, just wait. It'll probably be up in a few days. But yeah, I have a full video on just the products I use on Kai's eczema. I don't know if Jackson has eczema because he's so young. Kai's didn't start to develop until he was about a year old. So like I said, I don't know if Jackson has eczema, but I'll probably still use the same products that worked for Kai. So anyways, this is Jackson's formula. I switched it from Similac to Enfamil for personal reasons, because Similac was recalled, for one, and 2, Jackson's doctor actually recommended this one. So it is Enfamil. It's Gentle Ease. Jackson has some type of gas issues. He's always had gas issues, and Brandon's family thinks that it's because he's lactose intolerant. I had his doctor test him. He's not lactose intolerant. It's just that he was getting too much air in his system. And typically when you get too much air in their system, it's from the nipple when they're sucking on the bottle. They're sucking on the bottle with it having no milk in it, and it's going like that. It means it's just air, which I just know that sound like that now because I have 2 kids. So when I switched to this, I switched to the Tommy Tippy bottles, and the Tommy Tippy bottles help because that system in it is anti-colic. And it'll prevent air from going into the nipples, which it did with Kai's Dr. Brown's bottles, because Kai was a breastfed baby, so he never really got air unless he was in the bottle. And Jackson's stomach issues really, really calmed down as soon as we switched to the Tommy Tippy ones. However, I do the Gentle Ease one because it's more gentle on his tummy. See, on his tummy. Kai did not like this Gentle Ease formula because I did supplement sometimes with formula with Kai. He didn't like this formula. He actually liked the Enfamil Inspire, the blue one, that was really close to breast milk. Because like I said, he was a breastfed baby. Jackson's never in his life had breast milk. Kai had. So you have to take that into kind of like a consideration when you are having a child, if you want to breastfeed or if you want to formula feed. I don't recommend, if you're going to breastfeed, switching between formula and breast milk. I don't recommend that. I know most doctors don't. Most doctors recommend when you breastfeed to breastfeed solely for a year. I didn't do that. I supplemented with juice and baby food at 6 months with Kai, and he ended up being completely fine. I mean, the doctor was like, you know, that's fine, but I just prefer to see the kids have breast milk up until they're a year. I didn't enjoy breastfeeding, which is why I did not breastfeed Jackson, because I didn't enjoy it. But anyways, I really recommend the Enfamil brand, and new moms can get coupons, and I have even got free trial size formulas. Like, they were actually like small but decent size formulas. 3 of them when I had Kai. They were literally waiting outside my house for me. And I thought that that was really, really cool. And that's what got me on Enfamil. Even though it's a more expensive brand, you can, for one, have your pediatrician recommend or write to WIC if you have WIC and get a prescription for this stuff. Just so you know, in case you do want to try this and you are on WIC, that's something I recommend. This is really the best formula in my opinion if you're not going to breastfeed to get close to breast milk. So this is an infant formula one, so this is nowhere near breast milk. I stay away from the breast milk inspired stuff for Jackson because he's never had breast milk and I don't want to fuck him up, mess his stomach up. You don't mess up a kid. You don't do that with kids. Of course, kids will also let you know if they like a formula or not. So there is also that. So I don't recommend going and buying 600 formulas before you have a kid. The hospital that you have your child at more than likely is going to use Similac Pro Advance. That's what Jackson was on when he was first born, was Similac Pro Advance. But Similac's going out of business because of their recall, if they are. I don't know if they are, but I can't find them on any shelf ever. So, who knows? Okay, so next is the Johnson & Johnson's Bedtime Bath. I love using this stuff. I don't use this in the kids' hair. I miss Kai's long hair. But I don't use this in the kids' hair. I only use this to wash them. It's the bedtime. I love this stuff. Especially with that Cotton Touch lotion. Oh my god, Jackson smells divine at the end of the night. This is said to have a scent that is infused to let the kids know, like, it is time for bed. So that's why I use this, because typically when Kai gets out of the bathtub, he usually has bath time around 7 o'clock. He gets a snack pack, watches Nikki, and goes to bed at 8. Jackson tends to get in the bath at 6 o'clock, and then usually goes straight to bed, which is usually around 7 o'clock. I mean, honestly, as soon as I get Jackson out, I dry him off, lotion him, put his outfit on him. He gets a little good night rounds. He goes around and he gets passed around to everybody. We give him love and kisses. I put him in his swing. I turn his swing on. His swing has nighttime music and daytime music. So I turn that on and I have it going because it goes back and forth like this. And I leave it on like that and he just goes to sleep. I'll give him his pacifier too, but he just goes to sleep. He's just so used to, after bath, I go to bed. Alright, next is the product I actually use in the kids' hair, because I do use a different product in the kids' hair. Kai just had the craziest hair. It was so wild, which is, he got a toy stuck in it. We had to cut it because it was just getting to be too much, and then with the toy getting stuck in it, it just became like one giant knot instead of like 600 mini knots. It became one giant knot, and it was like, there's just no point anymore, so we cut it. I saved his hair. I'm depressed about it, but it's whatever. But this is what I actually use in his hair. So I actually used something else when he had Cradle Cap. That was Neutrogena, it was like tea gel shampoo. I don't have it anymore because I only used it a couple of times and it got rid of his Cradle Cap. That was at recommendation of his doctor to use. So that was a recommendation by his doctor. So even though that's not kid safe, just be really, really careful with their eyes. I had to be super careful. I only used about that much in his hair and it did get rid of his Cradle Cap. But now I use this. This is Johnson's No More Tangles 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. So this is just a shampoo. I need another. I got this because Kai had tangles in his hair. His hair just tangled so easy. Like, it was literally like, you just do that and it tangled. Like, bad. I was gonna do a unveiling Kai's first haircut video, but, I mean, like, he's had his haircut for like a month, so there's just no point. But anyway, so I have 2 powders to recommend. So, this one I'm almost empty on, but it is my favorite powder. I just can't find it. It's the Caldescence Protecting Powder. I used this on Kai whenever he would have a little bit of a diaper rash coming on before I got on the A&D. So, when I told you guys a story about him we put Desitin on him and it burned him, we took it off immediately, but he had a little bit of a diaper rash. It was kind of like a yeast, not a yeast infection, like a bacterial infection, I guess you could say, because my dumb ass would let him get in his pool with a regular diaper on, not realizing that they make swim diapers, which I can recommend some swim diapers to you guys, which I will I will recommend some swim diapers to you, because don't make my mistake. That was like I was like, oh my gosh. When I told my best friend Emily about it, Emily was like, Kira, you do not let a child go in the pool without a swim diaper on, because it'll cause a bacterial infection. I was like, oh my gosh. Remember, Kai's my first child. And this was when he was like 9, not 9, probably more close to 10, 11, 12 months in that area, because it was summertime. So it was definitely like between 10 and 12 months when that happened. So we took the Desitin off, and I tried this, and this actually did not burn him. It worked. So that's how I know powders work better for my child, because, yeah. But anyways, I can't find that, so I actually improvise with this. It's a cheaper it's a cheaper thing. And it is the Perfect Purity Pure Cornstarch Baby Powder. This is the baby powder I use on Jackson whenever he needs powder. Which, usually, I do a little bit of powder, and I'll do a little bit of the A&D. I even have been putting A&D in his neck, because he's a little chubby. I know, people love to point that out when I go in public, so he's so chubby. So, like, he gets, like, milk stuck in there, so if you don't get it all out, which he gets 1 bath a day. I'm about to switch it to 2. But he gets 1 bath a day, so it gets stuck in there. So instead of me constantly cleaning it out, usually what I do is I try to put A&D and powder on it to dry his neck out. You're trying to sit up to dance? But anyways, I prefer more pure cornstarch. I prefer a cornstarch powder. My grandma, my beautiful and amazing grandmother, who he calls Gigi. It'll come back on, honey. I have it on a live stream. It'll come back on. Recommended cornstarch powder. And that's when I started looking for a pure cornstarch powder. And I do notice a difference between baby powder and pure cornstarch powders, because this is not a cornstarch powder. This is just a baby powder, and this is a pure cornstarch powder. I prefer the more pure cornstarch powder, but I do like this even though I can't find it. I just don't like any other baby powder that doesn't have cornstarch in it. 110,000% recommend a cornstarch powder. And this came from Dollar Tree, and it's so fucking good. So it's like I got it for $1. It's $1.25 now. It was $1.25 tree. But anyways, that is it for my video of the best baby products. I hope that this was a little more intuitive and helped you guys out. So of course, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell. All that social media great stuff. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.